12 struggles only genuine empaths will understand. Sometimes being deeply connected means facing struggles others can't grasp, wondering if others get it too. We're about to explore 12 empath-centric challenges. So, if you're eager to feel less alone, let's dive in to our shared universe. 1. The tide of overwhelming emotions. As empaths, we don't just read emotions, we feel them. We experience a rich, complex tapestry of emotions, and this sensitivity isn't limited to the people we know. We're like emotional sponges, absorbing feelings from every direction. But this beautiful ability has a flip side. Imagine walking into a room. You instantly pick up on the subtle undercurrents, tension, joy, stress. It all washes over you like a wave. That intense argument that happened just before you walked in, you can still feel the remnants of it in the air. The joyous laughter that filled the room an hour ago, you can sense the lingering echoes of it. The renowned psychologist Carl Jung said, "Empaths did not learn how to shield themselves from negative energy. So, like a sponge left in water, we soak it all up. The result, we can end up feeling drained, emotionally fatigued, and in need of solitude to recharge." So if you identify as an empath, remember to take the right amount of time off from social interactions. 2. The yearning for solitude. If you're an empath, you understand the immense power of solitude. After days or even hours of being immersed in a sea of emotions, we need time to dry out and wring out the emotional sponge. Let's say you've spent an entire day at a bustling social gathering. The joy, the laughter, the hidden tensions, the unspoken sadness, you felt it all. Now, as you step into the quiet solitude of your home, a wave of relief washes over you. Suddenly, you're not just hearing your thoughts, you're feeling your emotions, untainted by outside influences. This isn't about being antisocial or shy. This need for alone time is a survival instinct. It's our way of resetting. We yearn for these quiet moments, these pockets of solitude where we can reconnect with ourselves and remember what it feels like just to be. 3. The constant dance with boundaries. Now, this one's tricky because as empaths, setting boundaries can feel like navigating a labyrinth. It's a challenging, ever-revolving journey. When we feel others' emotions as deeply as our own, how do we say no? Picture a close friend going through a rough patch. Their pain resonates with you. Their sorrow echoes within you. But where do you draw the line between being supportive and getting engulfed in their emotional turmoil? It's genuinely very difficult to set limits on the time and energy you spend with them, even when your own emotional battery is drained. Just saying a simple no seems too difficult, so setting this boundary can be a daily struggle for us empaths. It's a delicate dance between staying open to others' emotions and protecting your own emotional well-being. But remember, you can always learn with time and patience. 4. The weight of the world. As empaths, we feel deeply, and the world's pain doesn't escape us. It's like our emotional skin is thinner, making us more permeable to the feelings around us. This heightened sensitivity can often leave us feeling like Atlas, carrying the weight of the world on our shoulders. Are you ever just scrolling through your newsfeed when a news article catches your eye? A natural disaster in a far-off place? As you read, you're not just processing the words. You feel a visceral reaction, a deep sadness for the people affected. It's like a gut punch, an overwhelming wave of empathy. You might even find yourself tearing up. Our ability to empathize isn't just surface level. It penetrates to the core of our being, often causing emotional distress. 5. The empathic burnout. Empathic burnout is a term every empath should be intimately familiar with. As empaths, we absorb not just positive, but also negative emotions. Over time, this emotional overload can lead to what psychologists call empathic distress fatigue, or simply empathic burnout. Think of a time when you were surrounded by negative emotions for a prolonged period of time, maybe during a crisis at work or in the family. You probably felt like an emotional defibrillator, constantly trying to convert negative emotions into positive ones. Over time, this emotional effort takes its toll, leading to exhaustion and a sense of being emotionally depleted. Watch out for these moments, and remember to be gentle with yourself during burnout. 6. The search for authentic connections. As empaths, we crave deep, authentic connections. Small talk simply isn't our cup of tea. Instead, we yearn for meaningful conversations and genuine emotional exchanges. But in a world where polite yet shallow interactions are the norm, finding these authentic connections can feel like looking for a needle in a haystack. Empaths can't even imagine being at a social gathering where everyone's just skimming the surface, hiding behind fake smiles and casual chatter. As an empath, you can sense the emotional undercurrents and unvoiced feelings, but the conversation never dips below the surface. It can feel isolating, even in a room full of people. 7. The desire to heal. Next up is the saviour complex. Empaths are natural healers, so we don't just feel others' pain, we want to alleviate it. But when we're surrounded by emotional pain, the healing instinct can feel like a double-edged sword. Usually, as an empath, your first instinct is to reach out, to comfort, and to heal. But this desire to heal can sometimes leave us feeling helpless, especially when the emotional pain is beyond our control. This can get frustrating at times because it's like being a doctor without a cure. You can diagnose the emotional ailment, but you can't always treat it. 8. The struggle with intimacy. Now, this one's a paradox. While empaths yearn for deep connections, the fear of emotional engulfment can create a paradoxical struggle with intimacy. In intimate relationships, the emotional stakes are high for empaths, and the emotional currents are strong. Navigating these emotional waters can be a challenge. The love, the affection, the shared happiness, you feel it all in extremes. But the intense emotions can sometimes feel overwhelming, making you fear losing your sense of self. Empaths can struggle with intimacy because they fear losing their identity in the emotional whirlpool of close relationships, explains Dr. Elaine Aron. 9. The journey of self-care. Self-care is not a luxury for empaths, it's a necessity. But in a world that often misinterprets self-care as selfishness, prioritizing our own emotional needs can be a constant struggle. Think of it like this. You're on a plane and the flight attendant is demonstrating the safety procedures. They always say, put on your own oxygen mask before helping others. But as empaths, our instinct is to reach out and help, often neglecting our own emotional oxygen masks. But it's important to remember that you cannot save someone when you're on a sinking boat. Remember to put yourself first at times. 10. The question of quantum sensitivity. As an empath, you're not just sensitive to the emotions of those around you, you're also highly receptive to the subtleties of your environment. A shift in energy, a change in atmosphere. You feel it all. But this quantum sensitivity can sometimes feel like sensory overload. Imagine walking into a room and instantly picking up on the unspoken tension, the undercurrents of conflict, or the palpable excitement. But where others see just a room, you sense an entire emotional landscape. Navigating this sensory intensity can be a challenge that only empaths truly understand. 11. The curse of diplomacy. Conflict is a hard pill to swallow for empaths. We naturally lean towards harmony and often go to great lengths to avoid conflict. But this can lead to a tendency to suppress our feelings or needs in an attempt to keep the peace. If you're in a disagreement with a loved one, you may find yourself conceding just to avoid a heated argument, even when you know you're in the right. This unwavering diplomacy can leave empaths feeling unheard or even taken for granted, as well as leading to self-betrayal and abandonment of our needs. Because of this, the constant need to maintain harmony can be a curse for empaths. 12. The search for self-understanding. Let's talk about one of the most important signs of genuine empath. Understanding ourselves, our emotional reactions, and our unique empathy-oriented perspectives can be a journey of self-discovery for empaths. The line between our own feelings and those absorbed by others can sometimes blur, making self-understanding a complex process. Consider moments when you felt an emotion so intensely, only to realize later that it wasn't your own. The process of discerning our own emotional responses from those of others can be a maze that empaths constantly navigate. Empaths often struggle with identifying their own emotions apart from those of others. It can be like untangling an intricate emotional knot. So, the search for self-understanding is not just a struggle, it's an integral part of the empath's journey, and we have to learn who we are over and over again. Connected deeply with those empath struggles? Now, master the art of saying no without guilt, or delve into the empowering world of solitude. Before you go, press that like button and share your unique insight in the comment section. We'd love to hear from you.